This would sharpen you up and make you ready for a bit of the old ultra-violence.
What would you do if you lived in a world where violence wasn't just common, it was a way of life? Would you fight back, try to escape, or maybe join in? Well, in today's pick, we're diving into the mind of a young man who thrives on chaos. But what happens when the tables turn and the world becomes just as cruel to him as he's been to everyone else? Brace yourself, this isn't a dream, and it definitely isn't for the faint of heart. Let's break it down. A Clockwork Orange opens with Alex DeLarge, a young man in a futuristic dystopian society sitting with his friends, or as he calls them, his droogs, in the Korova Milk Bar. They're drinking Milk Plus, a beverage that has been laced with a drug that fuels their violent impulses. Alex, the leader of the group, is also the narrator of the story. From the start, it's clear that Alex feeds on chaos and has no moral compass. He's the type of guy to walk past an animal drowning and throw stones at it while laughing. Can you imagine? His life is only about committing violence, being a pest, and asserting his dominance over others in a very hostile way. Basically, if you saw him coming one way, you would immediately go the other. But what happens when the tables turn on him and he gets a taste of his own medicine? Stick around to find out. After leaving the milk bar, Alex and his droogs, Dim, Georgie, and Pete, go out into the night and cause a lot of mayhem. They attack a homeless man in the street who's drunk. They beat him brutally and mock him at the same time. Not long after that, they clash with a rival gang led by Billy Boy. Billy Boy and his boys are about to do terrible things to a young lady, but when Alex and the droogs arrive, it is obvious that their appetite for violence is stronger. The two groups fight and do a lot of damage to each other until the police arrive, forcing them to run like hell. It seems like Alex and his gang are unstoppable, but how long can their reign of terror last? Alex and his droogs then break into the home of a writer named Frank Alexander. They pretend that one of them has been hurt in an accident and they break in and assault Frank and terrorize his wife. Alex forces the writer to watch as he and his friends perform a choreographed act of violence on his wife. The man screams in pain, but his mouth has been taped shut. Alex sings Singing in the Rain while he beats them up. This incident leaves both the writer and his wife deeply traumatized. I mean, who wouldn't be? At this point, you're just waiting for someone to put Alex in his place. When does it happen? Stay tuned to find out. The next day, Alex stays home from school, but his probation officer, Mr. Deltoid, visits him at home. Deltoid warns Alex that his criminal behavior will catch up to him, but Alex brushes off the warning, showing no remorse for his actions. Later, Alex returns to his room, where he listens to classical music, particularly Beethoven. He has a deep fondness for Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. The music triggers his violent fantasies, showing just how twisted he really is. I mean, who listens to Beethoven and thinks of violence? A psychopath. That's who. Tensions begin to rise within Alex's gang. Georgie and Dim hate Alex and his violent leadership style, so they suggest that everyone in the group share power equally. Determined to maintain control, Alex shows his dominance by physically attacking both of them. He pushes them into the river and beats them with his cane. This restores his authority to the group for a bit, but the seeds of rebellion are already planted. That night, the group plans another robbery. They target a wealthy woman who lives alone with her cats. During the break-in, Alex gets in a fight with the woman, and she fights back using a ceramic sculpture of a phallic nature. In the struggle, Alex kills her by striking her with the sculpture. Outside, the droogs have called the police, setting Alex up to be arrested, but he doesn't know any of this. They're trying to get revenge for how he has treated them. When the cops arrive, Alex is arrested and taken into custody. At the police station, Alex's confidence begins to crumble. He is betrayed by his droogs who testify against him, and his parents turn their backs on him. He is convicted of murder and is sentenced to 14 years in prison. While he's behind bars, Alex pretends to repent and passes himself off as a model prisoner. He gets close to the prison chaplain by showing interest in the Bible, although he secretly enjoys the violent passages. He always imagines himself as the one committing all those biblical atrocities. 2 years into his sentence, Alex hears about a new experimental treatment called the Ludovico technique. The treatment promises to permanently cure criminals of their violent tendencies, allowing them to be released early since they'll no longer be a threat to society. I mean, it sounds good, right? What could possibly go wrong? Well, how about everything? Alex is desperate to regain his freedom, so he volunteers for the procedure. He is then transferred to a facility where the Ludovico technique is done. The process involves injecting Alex with drugs that brings about severe nausea while forcing him to watch films that show graphic violence and sexual assault. After a while, the treatment conditions Alex to associate these acts with serious physical discomfort. Every time he even thinks about doing them, he will feel so terrible that he'll almost beg for death. The technique has an unintended side effect, however, since one of the films uses Beethoven's music, especially the Ninth Symphony. Alex develops a very bad reaction to hearing it. After the treatment is over, Alex is declared cured and released from prison. However, his freedom comes at a cost. Since his ability to cause any violence has been removed, Alex becomes defenseless in a world that is as brutal as he once was. His former victims and enemies now see him as an easy target. His first encounter with the outside world is with the homeless man he and his droogs had attacked earlier. The man recognizes Alex and he invites other old men to beat him to a pulp. Alex is rescued when 2 policemen arrive, but to his shock, the officers are Dim and Georgie, his former droogs. They take Alex to a quiet area in the woods and they beat him up while drowning him as revenge for all the terrible things he did to them. When they leave, Alex is broken and humiliated, and he stumbles away to seek refuge. But his luck is about to change forever. Don't you worry. Alex eventually finds himself at the home of Frank Alexander, the writer he had assaulted years earlier. Frank does not first recognize Alex because he takes him in and has pity on his condition after hearing about the Ludovico technique in the newspapers. However, Frank's compassion turns to blind rage when he realizes Alex's true identity. Seeking revenge, Frank conspires with a group of people who hate the establishment to use Alex as a pawn in their agenda against the government. They lock Alex in a room and force him to listen to Beethoven's Ninth Symphony at full volume, knowing it will trigger his nausea and nearly drive him insane. Will Alex find a way out, or will this be his breaking point? Unable to endure the torment, Alex throws himself out of a window in an attempt to end his suffering. He survives the fall, but is severely injured and wakes up in a hospital. While recovering, Alex discovers that the Ludovico technique has been reversed. The Minister of the Interior visits Alex, offering a surprising olive branch. He apologizes for everything Alex has endured and reveals that Mr. Alexander, the writer who tormented him, has been institutionalized to silence any political backlash. The minister makes Alex a deal. In exchange for supporting the government's public relations efforts and their upcoming election campaign, Alex will be well taken care of and even offered a job. As a gesture of goodwill, the minister presents Alex with a stereo system playing Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. The music stirs something deep within Alex, and his mind floods with vivid, violent fantasies. He imagines engaging in sex with a woman surrounded by an applauding crowd. Smiling to himself, Alex comes to a chilling discovery. "I was cured all right," he says, and the story ends ambiguously.
"Was cured all right."
Do you think Alex will truly change, or will he remain trapped in his cycle of violence? Let us know your answers in the comments down below. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into disturbing films from the Replay Media. Okay, you made it this far. Click the join button below and become part of the Replay Media fam, with perks like early access to videos and exclusive content for horror fans. What are you waiting for? Join now.